I'm sure that everyone's sick of looking at meta-relevant decks, so today I've got one that's a little bit more off the wall for you. Today we're going to be looking at, I don't know, which corner should I use? Morpeko V Union. This is a very, very powerful card featuring the V Union mechanic, which is frankly absolutely wild. What we need to do to get this Pokemon into play is we need to discard all 4 parts of our Morpeko V Union, and then once it is in the discard pile, we can use those 4 parts to combine them into one Pokemon to stick on our bench. Now we've got the top left corner here, the top right corner features an attack for 2 colorless energy, all you can draw until you have 10 cards in hand. That seems pretty good, probably not the attack we're going to be utilizing though. This one in the bottom left corner is the attack that we are most excited for. Burst Wheel for a lightning and double colorless deals 100 damage times the amount of energies that you have discarded from this Pokemon. So that's every energy card you discard from Morpeko V Union, you deal 100 damage. Now if there's 3 energy on there, that's 300. If we add a choice belt, that is 330, and we are dealing enough damage to knock out almost every Pokemon in the game. We can also reattach those energies by using the Dynamotor Flaafy, which allows us to accelerate a basic lightning energy from our discard pile to one of our benched Pokemon. If we have a couple of Flaafy in play, it means that we'll be able to attack with our V Union Morpeko and try and deal some big one-shots to damage, which I really, really like. We also have the bottom right corner. It has Electro Ball, 160 damage for the same energy cost, a lightning and a double colorless. Gives us another attacking option, but not necessarily as powerful as before. Now, the issue with this Morpeko is that it's going to take a lot of time to get it into play. We need to find and discard all 4 of those pieces after all. So, instead, we have an early game attacker that we have not yet seen on the channel, Raikou V. It's very similar to Suicune and Entei V. They've both, or all 3 of them, got the same ability, fleet-footed. When it's in the active, you can draw a card from the top of your deck and put it into your hand, and they all have a Rondo attack. In our instance, for a lightning and a colorless energy, we use Lightning Rondo. It does 20 damage plus 20 more for each benched Pokemon in play, both ours and our opponents. They can very quickly reach large numbers, as high as 220 if there are 10 basic Pokemon, 10 benched Pokemon, sorry, in play. Those are our attackers. We've also got a couple of other nice support cards here. We've got Bibarel, which is becoming quite popular in my decks at the moment. Industrious Incisors allows us to draw up to 5 cards into our hand. So we draw from our current hand size up to 5, which is super, super strong. We also have an Evolution Raw Galarian Meowth, a card that you probably haven't seen in many decks before. What this card allows you to do is to discard 2 cards from your hand and then search your deck for a Galarian Berserker. Now, our list does not play Galarian Berserker, but we do want to discard cards. We want to get rid of those Morpekos, and we want to get rid of cards in our hands so that our barrel can draw more. So a nice little support Pokemon there. We also have a couple of copies of Adventurer's Discovery, which allows us to search our deck for up to 3 Pokemon V and put them in our hand. With Adventurer's Discovery, we can search for 3 of our V Union pieces, and then with Meowth, we can discard 2 of them, which is very, very useful. And we also have a copy of Peonia as a supporter in order to get cards out of our prizes. Every now and then, one of our pieces of Morpeko will be prized. We can use Peonia, take a look at 3 of our prizes, put them into our hand, then replace those prizes back where we found them. That will at least allow us to go and grab those prized Morpeko pieces. Ooh, it's a very, very interesting list, this one. I will say that it's heavily based on a list that For the Win TCG did. I can't remember whether it's FTW TCG or For the Win TCG on YouTube. I'll link to it down below. You can go and check it out. Plus, the text version of the list is here. Let's see if we can't win with a bit of a meme deck this time. Sick of winning with good stuff. Alrighty, we've got a start here. We've got Raikou in the active, so we can just use that fleet-footed ability straight away. And we've also got a Morpeko piece to chuck into the discard pile straight up. In fact, looking at this hand, it's actually really quite good. The only thing I think we're missing here is an attachment to our Raikou. If we'd been able to find one of those, I think that would have been the perfect first turn for this deck. Next turn, we could theoretically get an attack off with Lightning Rondo. We would need to find a switch and an air balloon in order to do that. But we do have Flaafy, we do have Choice Belt, we've got Evo Incense and Ultra Ball. We've got a lot of options, so feeling pretty good. I shouldn't have listed them. I shouldn't have listed all the things that we could do, because we're getting married. Oh, there was like a 6-month period of my life where that didn't happen every second time that I drew cards. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I don't know what you specifically are worried about. Our opponent here emptying out their hand and searching for a Crobat with their Ultra Ball. Looks like we are playing against a Dark type Arceus list. So this might be one of those kind of maybe one of those Malamar VMAX variants which we've played before on the channel. It could be an Arceus Inteleon version, although to be fair, Bidoof probably isn't in that particular deck. It might be one where they utilize Crobat VMAX as an attacker. Could be any number of things here, but it looks like it will be a Dark variant of some description. Now, our hand is a little bit workable. We've definitely got a lot going on here. I feel like we're going to need to Ultra Ball for a Bidoof in order to make this work. But I kind of want to hold on to a lot of these cards. We're going to Ultra Ball. We need to get rid of some stuff here. It might be our Choice Belt has to go, because I want to leave the Switch and the Raikou in hand. The Switch is very important. The Raikou needs to be on the bench. And then hopefully we can just barrel into some good cards here. We do still have Fleet-Footed as an option, so it's not impossible for us to get a solid attack off here. And tell you what, these are some good cards. We will Ultra Ball away the boss and the Lightning Energy. Go and grab ourselves a Flaafy. I can live with this. We will play the Flaafy down. We can Dynamotor and put a Lightning Energy onto our Raikou. And this means that we will be able to attack this turn. We can switch into that Raikou and then Professor's Research. All we need to find is an energy, and we've managed that. We'll play down the Speed Lightning and draw 2 cards off of that as well. I like the Mareep on the bench. I like the Adventurous Discovery in hand. I like the Quick Ball. I like a lot of this here. Let's Fleet-Foot and see what else we can get. And another Flaafy. So that will be useful down the line. We're just going to Lightning Rondo now, though. I think that's pretty much all we need to do. We'll take a knockout on this Bidoof and go down to 5 prizes. And hey, look at that. We've managed to find a prized Morpeko V Union piece. I hadn't even checked those yet to see whether or not they would be in play, but luckily for us, we have managed to find them, or find one. Now our Adventurous Discovery next turn can go and grab those other 2 pieces. We might even be able to Quick Ball for that Meowth, which would be fantastic. Here comes a Crobat VMAX, so they're going to remove 2 easy prizes from the board, and it looks like we might be able to win the game by actually attacking into that. It depends on how our turn goes here against this Arceus, to be honest. Now, one of the reasons that Raikou is a little bit worse than Suicune and Entei is that its HP is just that smidgen lower, meaning that Arceus can very easily come in and take knockouts on Raikou. At the moment, the opponent's Arceus is dealing 180. Thanks to the double turbo energy, it reduces damage by 20, but they will be able to find a Choice Belt. They just use their Starbirth ability, which they haven't used that, find a Choice Belt, and go from there. Boy, I'm squeaking around. I've got like a swollen ankle at the moment. I did some physical activity, which was a mistake. I understand that. It was a mistake, but in doing that physical activity, I hurt my ankle, and now I need to have it elevated whilst I'm sitting in my chair, which is fine normally, but when I'm recording a video, I have to sit higher. Because like here, just a second. This is where I normally sit down here, because of where my camera is mounted. Just looking at my OBS, because of where my camera is mounted, it makes it a little bit harder. Just a second. Let me. Alright, I'm back. I'm normal. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Ow. Just whacked it on the bench. Okay, we're back. There's the Choice Belt. Exactly what I said would happen. It just took a bit of time. And yet again, we are being Marnied, so that just goes to show that you don't say what you're going to do with your turn until after your opponent's played a supporter. What do we got here? Oh, boy. This is a bit of a grim hand. This is not ideal at all. We've got a Choice Belt, so that's okay. We can't take a knockout on either Arceus or Crobat V here. What we might need to do is we might need to gear ourselves up to be able to take a knockout with our Morpeko next turn. So that's probably what we're going to try and do. Let's put... I think it's probably Bibarel. We can put the... We're going to put the Flaafy in the active. We need to find a switch card anyway, so let's go for it. Ultra Ball is a good card to have here. Raikou is another good card to have. We'll attach this energy. And then I think we can just Ultra Ball away the Raikou and the... let's Ultra Ball. We're going to get rid of the Raikou and the energy. We're going to grab ourselves another Flaafy. That seems fine. Now we're set up with all of the Flaaffies that we need. We can attach the Choice Belt. We're going to Industrious Incisors first, because we might draw into a bunch of Morpeko bits, which we've done, which is cool. Let's speed Lightning Energy and see what else we can get. Hey, listen, this is fine. We've got one Morpeko piece to discard. I like that quite a lot. Plus, we also have our Switch, which is very cool. Now we can research, and we're looking for, I think it's 2 more bits of Morpeko. And hey, wouldn't you know it, there they are. Those are the 2 bits that I was mentioning before. We're going to Quick Ball away one of them, grab ourselves our Galarian Meowth, and then we are going to chuck that Morpeko piece in the bin. Evolution Raw will put the 4th Morpeko piece in the discard pile. And then, have a look at this. We can go into our discard pile and play our Morpeko V Union onto the... Look at that beautiful animation. Oh, beautiful. Gasp indeed, Jacob. We've got an energy in the discard pile. We can accelerate that to our Morpeko, and then we will be able to attach Air Balloon to our barrel. Oh, I forgot to Fleet-Foot it, so we may as well do that. And then we can Lightning Rondo, half hit the Arceus, but that's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, because next turn we will be able to power up our Morpeko. I don't think there's going to be any way that our opponent can knock our Morpeko out next turn, which means that we are in a position where we can take the knockout on the Arceus with Morpeko's 4th attack, and then knock out the Crobat VMAX on the bench for the final prizes. We've still got bosses left. We don't have... I think we've got 1 Choice Belt left. We should be able to at least be in a position where we can attach 4 energy to Morpeko to do 400 damage. I'm just worried about cards like Big Charm, which can go onto that Crobat and remove it from the 300 HP range into the 330 HP range, which makes it a little bit harder. So we may need to get 4 energy, but depends. It all depends, ladies and gentlemen, on what our opponent elects to do. They elect to ping. They're going to ping us for 10. Now we only have 300 HP left, but I don't think that they can do 300 HP. I don't think it's possible. I don't think they can do it. Taking a long time here, whatever decision they are making. They've got that powered Crobat that can deal 180, 210 with a Choice Belt. They can also poison me and move to the bench, but if they do that, then I just need a Gust, which is what I'd need to win the game anyway. There's the Trinity Nova. Okay, so they're going to leave the Arceus with damage in the active. This is good for us. It means that we can knock out the active Pokemon without removing any of our energy from Morpeko. We'll put the Bibarel in the active because it's got the retreat. We need to make sure that our Morpeko V Union is on the bench. We will speed Lightning Energy. That's pretty solid. We've got another Air Balloon, so we can throw that down if we want at some point. Let's just Dynamotor and get our energy onto Morpeko here. Let's Evo Incense. We're just going to start thinning cards. We just need to make sure we've got Boss and Choice Belt in there. So there's everything that we need to go on to win the game. Let's research. There are 6 cards left in deck and a whole bunch of cards in our... Well, 6 cards in our hand, really. Let's thin them out. We don't need them anymore. We don't need them. We're going to use Evolution Raw. We're going to get rid of Adventurer and a Lightning Energy. We'll get rid of those. There's 3 cards in hand, 6 in deck. Have we put it beyond doubt now? Are we in a position where I don't need to worry? Just draw cards now, right? And it's not that big of a deal. Evil Incense can go away. We don't need that. And then, yeah, I think we're pretty much just set. We can just retreat. into our Morpeko here, we'll be able to use Electric Ball for our attack. So that 4th attack on Morpeko, 160 plus 30 is 190, takes a knockout on that Arceus V-Star. And now we have 3 prizes to win. Managed to find a Mareep and a Flaafy, so we can bench the Mareep, and that ought to be able to give us enough cards to draw, I think. Okay, we might actually be able to lose here. If they use Yell Horn, or whatever it's called, if they use the horn, Echoing Horn, then we lose, because they can bring out a Raikou and kill it. That's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. That's alright, they won't play it. They won't play it? I don't know what you're worried about. I don't know what you're worrying about. They're not gonna play it. They're not gonna play it. You don't need to worry. It's not gonna happen. Just don't stress. Stop stressing. Stop stressing. I think we're gonna be fine. Surely we're gonna be fine. We've got the energy. We're going to be able to attach that to get to 430 damage, so no matter what our opponent does here, we will be able to get a knockout next turn, even if they do attach a big charm, which it looks like they're actually going to do, so they're going to go into that big charm on their Crobat VMAX. There's nothing that they can do now. All that we need to do is draw into our boss, and we win. So let's get rid of some cards that we are not going to be able to play. We'll get rid of those. We can attach an energy. That means we're doing 400 and something damage here. Get rid of Mareep and an energy. We've got 3 cards in our deck, so we will utilize our Bibarel. We'll Industrious Incisors and draw up to 5. We don't have 5 cards. We have 3. One of them is a boss. We'll bring out the Crobat and then Burst Wheel for 430 damage. That's a lot for a little rat. Is Morpeko a rat? Yeah, answer that in the comments. Is Morpeko a rat, I think. Game on. We've got a Mareep in the active. We are looking at an Arceus on our opponent's side of the field and their own Mareeps. This could be anything, maybe a Rayquaza deck. I've got one of those in the on the back burner. I've got some games recorded. I've made the video, but there are other decks that I've wanted to put out first. So tell you what, if we get a, what should the like target be? I don't know. I'll figure that out in a second, because you guys are the real ones. Let's grab ourselves a Raikou or a Mareep. Let's go for the Raikou, I think. Oh, you have a good deck. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's attach the Speed Lightning Energy to our Raikou. Draw a couple of cards. That's a lot of Evo Incenses to have. We've got Adventurous Discovery here. What I probably should have done is grabbed a Mareep, but that's okay. We'll just grab these 3 more Morpeko pieces. Should have grabbed the Mareep with the Stormy Mountains, because then I could have Ultra Balled for the Raikou anyway. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Or did I have the did I draw the Ultra Ball? I can't remember. It's all fine. We're going to Bidoof. We're going to grab the Bidoof. The Bidoof is coming into the play. And next turn we'll be able to evolve into Bibarel. This is a very slow start for us, but it's definitely workable. It just depends on how quickly our opponent goes. I think this is fine. We don't need to leave this Mareep in the active. We can't afford to have our Raikou knocked out, so we're just going to leave it as is. And hopefully it all works out. Now, I used to have like targets of like 500, but I think that that's unreasonable now. So I'm going to ask for 250. How does that say? Oh, Raikou V, okay. 250 likes. If you would like to see a deck similar to this, whether it be Raikou or the Rayquaza VMAX deck that I've got on the back burner, hit the like button. It's the single most valuable thing that you can do to support your favorite YouTubers. It's literally the most, it's a broken interaction. You click one button and I get like the endorphins immediately pumped into my system. It's incredible how quickly YouTube delivers that to you. It's just like bang, straight in. So yeah, hit a like, that would be great. I don't like this game now. I don't think we're going to be in a position to win this. Our opponent's about to knock out this Mareep, and they've got a Arceus and a couple of Raichus. Okay, so if this last card is a supporter, which it always is, then they're in a spot where they can set up a bunch of Mareeps on the bench, have a big couple of Raichus, and they'll be able to prize race us rather efficiently. I'm worried. I'm worried. We need to, like, boss. We need to boss and take a knockout on a Raichu this turn. Like, this turn. I think if our hand was just a smidgen better, if there was 2 less Evo Incenses and maybe another good card, we might have been able to get there. But it's not great. We'll see. We'll see, though. They're going to Starbirth. Jeez, they're not even finished their turn yet. I thought they were just going to Trinity Nova me. That's okay. This is fine. So they're gonna Starbirth and search for 2 cards. We've got access to their Stormy Mountain, plus we've got Evo Incense. Unfortunately, Raihan is not a live card, because we don't have any basic lightning energy in the discard pile at the moment. And it looks to me like they just Starbirthed for double Flaffy. So that's an impressive situation, to say the very least. You're going to accelerate some lightning energy to the bench. And then they're going to Trinity Nova and take the knockout on the Mareep. This is very frightening. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat this. This is going to be very, very tough. Very tough. Very, 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 very tough. But that's okay. We're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. My loneliness. I shouldn't sing, otherwise I'll get demonetized because it's so accurate. Oh, look at that. We've got a speed lightning energy. Perfect. This is going to make our turn just that little bit better, I'd imagine. What we're going to do first, though, is we're going to thin this hand out a little bit. I want to be able to use this Bibarel. We want to use the ability from the Bibarel if we can. We will thin all of these cards from our hand, these Evo Incenses that we don't need. We will switch into our Raikou and use Stormy Mountains to grab a Mareep. Then we can Bibarel for 1. That seems pretty good. A Quick Ball, beautiful. We can Quick Ball away the Morpeko and grab ourselves, I think, another Mareep. That seems reasonable. We can chuck that down, then we can Speed Lightning and Fleet-Footed to draw 3 more cards. And this is a fine hand to have. It's not good, but it's fine. And I think that's the critical piece. The thing that I'm worried about here, our opponent is going to be able to easily just knock out this Raikou this turn, and it means that we're going to be 3 prizes behind. So we need to attack 1, 2, maybe 3 times to win this game, and they need to attack once, or twice, only twice, because of how easy it's going to be to knock out this Raikou. I don't know that we're going to be able to get there. I think we might need, to be brutally honest, we might need to just get the Morpeko out this turn and hope that they miss. I don't think there's anything else that we can realistically expect to do. But, I mean, the deck's pretty good at getting the Morpeko going, so it's not like it's unreasonable, right? It's not like it's unreasonable. I think it's worst case scenario, if they knock our Raikou out with their Arceus, then we are in real trouble. Like, there is nothing that we can do about that. If they have to retreat into the Raichu, then maybe we can get it, because it's got, what, 250 HP? We can knock that out. Okay, so they're going into Raichu. They have to discard energy here. To get to a knockout on Raikou, they need to discard 4 with Dynamic Spark, because Dynamic Spark is 2 energy, times 60 for every energy that you discard from any of your Pokemon. So they're going to discard 4, which will leave them with 2 in play. How's this going to work out? Where are they going to get them from? Okay, alright, so they're going to leave 2. They've put the... Oh my god, I don't think that there's ever a way to win this. We knock out this Raichu. They knock it out, and then, yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done here, guys. I think it's pretty much over. We've got 3 more Pekos in the bin, which is good. We can go ahead and grab ourselves a Flaffy here. We can Ultra Ball as well. We'll get rid of the Raihan and the Lightning Energy. I don't think we need either of those, because we would like to boss, but we can't. We have to Peonia to get the last piece of the Morpeko puzzle. We're just going to grab another Raikou and hope that another attacker is enough. We are in Struggle Street. This is not going to work. Let's Industrious Incisors now draw 5 cards. See what cards we get. There's no Peonia, which is unfortunate. It means that we can't just get that extra Morpeko out. Okay, we're going to retreat into Raikou. Let's see if we can just get the Peonia off of the Fleet-Footed. We will Ultra Ball away a couple of cards and then just grab whatever. Like, it really doesn't matter what we get here. We'll just Fleet-Footed and see if we can't get the Peonia. If we can, that's great, but if we can't, it doesn't matter. We've got Dynamotor. We'll put an energy onto the benched Raikou, and then we might just research, to be honest. We don't really have any other option. Let's just Lightning Rondo. We'll just Lightning Rondo for 200. And just hope we hit it. If we get it, we get it. If we get it, we get it! Ooh. Okay, so we got it. Does that change the maths at all? Can we ever win this game? Okay, so if they elect to knock us out with this Raikou, then we might be able to. Another Raikou is frightening. Another Cape is equally frightening. So they can attach 1, 2, 3 lightning energy. They need 4 to win the game. They Ultra Ball for another Flaaffy. They can attach another one, which will win the game, I think. Okay, so let's just double check this maths here. I think we're about to get locked out. So if they have 3 Flaaffies on the bench, it means that they can accelerate 3 energy onto the bench, which will give them access to 5. If they attach 1 from hand, they'll have 6, which means that they can get 2. They can leave 2 over. And to knock out the Morpeko, they need 5? Oh, well, that's even worse, actually. I didn't even consider the fact that they might do that. Okay, well, yeah, this is awful. This is terrible. Because all of the energy that our opponent needs to win the game is pretty much in play now. They're going to Arceus and put 3 lightning energy into the field of play. Means they've got 4 there, plus an extra 3. No matter what we do, we cannot win this game. Well played, my friend. We will do our best, though. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna see what we can get done. We managed to find the energy, which is good. So now we can attack with our Morpeko V Union. We get to watch the uber cool animation again. And just think, if we had have attacked for a knockout on a Raikou instead of a half hit on the Arceus, that we might have actually been able to win this game. Like, we might have been in a position to win, but that's okay. Doesn't work out the way we want it every time. Retreat into our Morpeko, and then we'll just Electric Ball. We'll take 2 prizes, and it is guaranteed here that our opponent wins this game. There are at least 3 lightning energy in the discard pile, so they can definitely get the required 5 energy in play. It's actually 6 because we've got 310, but they can definitely get the required energy in play. So now, it's just a matter of watching to see whether they want to just put 6 in play and knock me out, or whether they really want to hammer home the point that they were always going to win. And it looks like that's the case. They're just gonna go, I'm gonna deal 1 trillion damage to your Morpeko, and what are you gonna do about it? It looks like that's gonna be the way that we go out here. Hey, I'm impressed. We got the Morpeko out, we got it done twice, we took knockouts. The deck works. It's just not quite good enough to get wins every single time we play. But hey, that's okay. I can live with it. Goodbye, Morpeko. Farewell. So Morpeko V Union, not quite getting the job done at the end, but the deck works. The deck is strong. I really enjoy it. If you would like to see more videos like this, then please subscribe to the channel. You might even consider becoming a member like some of these very attractive people over here. Also, if you do want to see one of those other Mareep lists, whether that be Rayquaza or even Raikou V, then hit that like button. 250 would be fantastic. And check out this video here for Arceus Malamar VMAX. I think this is probably one of my best thumbnails. And if you think so too, then click the bloody link. Act on it. Act on your like of this thumbnail. My hand is so painful.